British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Good morning and welcome to BCIT's The Crow. I'm Alessio Cusano, and here are your news headlines to 10:30. The Vancouver International Airport says they'll be conducting an emergency training exercise today that simulates incidents to test the airport's emergency response. The training will occur across the airport and involve YVR's airfield and surrounding buildings. The statement from the airport says the emergency test will be a practice for airlines, aviation agencies, and emergency responders. It says the exercise will involve around 200 people and will include emergency vehicles and visible smoke. But if you're in the area or boarding a plane today, you won't be affected. With more headlines, here's producer Nicholas Helka.
Thank you, Alessio. Both the NDP and Conservative parties are promising mining reforms ahead of the provincial elections. How a lack of bike lanes in North Delta has local cyclists up in arms. With El Nino winter upcoming, how local businesses will be affected by colder temperatures. And in amateur hockey, the Ridge Meadow Flames are off to a hot start. Find out how the team has maintained focus coming off of a championship season last year. Back to you, Alessio.
Thank you, Nick. Both BC NDP leader David Eby and Conservative leader Jean Rossad said they'll improve the province's mining industry with permitting reforms. Eby says his party will help mining firms with better permit review timelines, while Rossad says his party is proposing a plan for one permit per project. The pair also said they'll upgrade rural infrastructure as they fan across the province in their weeks-long pre-election pitches to voters. Eby and Rossad both said they'll do away with the BC carbon tax, while Green leader Sonia Furstenau says keeping a price on carbon pollution is crucial to addressing the cost of climate change. British Columbia's New Democrats have unveiled a plan that leader David Eby says will help middle-income families purchase a home by financing for 40% of the price. The plan commits up to $1.29 billion per year in financing to help middle-income people buy their first home, while supporting the development of up to 25,000 new units over 5 years. A statement from the NDP says the government would partner with non-profit organizations, local governments, First Nations, and market housing providers to identify land and projects for development. It says government financing and the use of low-cost land allow builders to offer units for sale at 40% below market prices, and buyers will need to come up with the remaining 60%. When the buyer sells their unit, the NDP says the province's contribution must be repaid, plus 40% of the appreciation value of the home. NDPs will vote this afternoon on a motion that could bring down the minority Liberal government. That's not likely to happen since the NDP and Bloc Québécois said they will oppose the non-confidence motion. But the Conservatives have already put the House Commons on notice that more of these votes are coming. If any non-confidence motion was to pass, the government will be defeated and Canadians would very likely see an immediate election. With the rising car and gas prices, this has made many people turn to alternative methods of transportation. Some of these methods include the bus, walking, and biking. Our reporter Emily Deneen speaks on how North Delta isn't the friendliest to cyclists.
North Delta is home to 5 high schools, and students often bike to get to their classes. This means that the roads and sidewalks are often filled with bikes during rush hour. Instead of having proper bike lanes, North Delta has something called Share the Road. This allows cyclists to be on the road with cars that are going over 50 kilometers per hour. Cyclists say that they are often tailgated and honked at while they are just riding their bike. Emily Deneen, BCIT's The Crow.
Now on to the weather. In Burnaby here, it is 14 degrees and raining lightly for now. However, the rain is expected to get heavier in the next few days. And those were your 10:30 news headlines. I'm Alessio Cusano, and you're listening to BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikki-King.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikki-King. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.
Good morning, I'm Lauren Achille, and this is your sports update to 1040.
A pair of power play goals lifted the Canucks to a win in their first preseason game last night as Vancouver beat the Seattle Kraken 3-1. The Canucks' penalty kill also held the Kraken scoreless on two-man advantages. Vancouver defenseman Tyler Myers says it's good to see that part of the team's game clicking so early.
Special teams are such a big part of the league now. You want to get those dialed in now and really start working at it. Look at video as much as you can to get, the structure in place. But yeah, it was a good start for the first game.
Niels Höglander and Philip Hronek each had a power play goal for Vancouver, and Pius Suter had added an empty net tally. The Canucks play tonight against the Calgary Flames at 7 in Abbotsford. Starting quarterback for the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, Matthew Sluka says he's going to be taking a break from the field due to unfulfilled commitments from the school. Sluka took it to X to announce his decision not to play any more games with the team, citing his nil deals as the reason. The Toronto Raptors have announced today that they've signed Kennedy Chandler. The 22-year-old guard was the 38th pick selected by the Memphis Grizzlies in the 2022 NBA draft. The Raptors training camp is coming up and are looking to lock in their roster. Look out for a new name in the UFC roster. Renier de Ridder, the former Division 1 champion, holds a 17-2 record in the MMA. De Ridder, also known as the Dutch Knight, will come into his multi-fight UFC contract on the right foot. He will be in the Octagon November 9th for Fight Night 174. Shifting to baseball now, Kyle Isbell snapped Kansas City's 27-inning scoreless streak by sprinting home on a throwing error in the 10th inning. The Royals held on to the second American League wild card spot with a 1-0 victory over the Washington Nationals last night. Royals shortstop Bobby Witt Jr. says they have to build on this win and move on.
We got that run scratched across, and I think it's just one of those things where now we go. And so like I keep saying, we didn't just come this far just to come this far, and we're just got to go out there and play the game, play to play, not play to win, not play to lose. Just go out there and play our game.
Houston Astros' Jason Hayward hit a go-ahead 2-run homer and made a dazzling defensive play as the Astros beat the Seattle Mariners 4-3 to clinch their fourth consecutive AL West championship. Hayward says winning the division title makes all the hard work and sacrifice worth it.
These are the moments why we play baseball. This is why we grind. This is why you get to spring training early. This is why you stay late, sometimes lose sleep, and this will be one of the nights we have fun and enjoy.
Atlanta Braves' Michael Harris had 3 more hits, including a solo home run and an RBI double, and rookie Spencer Schwellenbach shut down the New York Mets again. The Atlanta Braves cruised to a 5-1 win in the opener of a pivotal 3-game series. Harris says he and the team are playing well and are having fun.
We've been playing some good baseball lately, and it's just been fun to be out there and be with them doing it. So we just hope to continue doing that the rest of the season.
Michael Conforto and Brett Wisely each hit 3-run homers in San Francisco's 6-run third inning. The Giants won their 5th straight against playoff contenders by defeating the Arizona Diamondbacks 11-0. D-backs manager Torey Lovullo says it's time to start winning after their wild card possession dropped to a half game with the loss.
We got something right in front of us that's really, really special, but we can't get sidetracked by it. What we're trying to do, we gotta focus on tomorrow and take care of business. But this was certainly a frustrating day, and I want these guys to feel it. I want them to understand why it happened, and then flush it and be ready to go tomorrow.
This has been your sports update to 1040. I'm Lorna Chili, and you're listening to BCIT's The Crow. Thank you for listening.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the lower mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika King.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika King.